Have you watched every single how to unlock the Grau 556 video and starting to wonder if there's even any point? Well, today I want to discuss with you the best alternatives to the Grau 556 in Warzone, and we're starting right now. What's up guys, it's Average Joel making average content for the average viewer, and today I thought I'd throw you free-to-play players a bone and talk about what the best weapons are if you don't fancy doing the Warzone equivalent of intentionally burning the roof of your mouth by trying to unlock the Grau in Plunder. With that being said, I do just want to share some quick Warzone tips and tricks with you that I'm not sure many people have thought about. If you guys have a mate that has the full version of Modern Warfare, then you can actually give them your sign-in details and get them to unlock the Grau for you. In my last How to Unlock the Grau 556 in Warzone video, a lot of people in the comments have been talking about this method and there have been a few Discord servers shared, so feel free to pop over to that video after this one and find some people who might be able to help you. But that is not what today's video is about. Today I want to talk to you guys about some alternatives to the Grau that aren't going to cost you weeks of your life and also your will to live. So let's get on with it. What is it about the Grau that is making it probably the most popular weapon in the game right now? There are weapons with less recoil than the Grau. There are weapons that hit harder than the Grau. So what is it about this gun that actually makes it the best? Well, I think I can answer that. Statistically, this weapon is slap bang in the middle of the road when it comes to damage profile in standard multiplayer at a 4 to 5 shot kill. This means that many of the other assault rifles outclass it in almost every situation. However, the attachments that you can put on the Grau are what makes it truly stand out from the crowd. Attachments like the Archangel barrel increase the damage range and drastically improve your recoil stats. What this translates to is that even though you have a statistically lower DPS on the weapon, you'll be more likely to hit more of your shots at longer ranges, which is why you see people like Vicstar looking like he could shoot the cock off a fly at 1,000 yards. So, what other weapons have these sorts of properties? Well, the first gun that I want to talk about is arguably even better than the Grau at these sorts of ranges. And that is of course the M13. The M13 is a weapon that I really thought deserved a bit more love in the standard multiplayer. It had an extremely fast rate of fire for an assault rifle and very low recoil, but more often than not when I used it I found that I was getting put down quicker than a dog with IBS. But in similar ways to the Grau, this is not the case in Warzone. The thing with the M13 is that with the right attachments, this thing literally shoots like a laser beam. The recoil pattern on this gun might as well be non-existent, and if you put in a little bit of time to get your muscle memory dialed in, then you will be able to outshoot the Grau and even some lesser skilled snipers at incredible ranges. What this means is that if you're smart, not only is this a great gun if you can't unlock the Grau, but it actually means that the M13 genuinely is a great choice for a primary weapon even if you already have the Grau unlocked. With that being said, I want to give you guys a class setup for the M13 so that you can get the absolute best out of it. So first of all, let's talk about the perks. With every single one of my class setups in Warzone, I will always be using Cold-Blooded, Overkill and Amped on all of my main loadouts. The reason for this is that I hate the thought of being spotted by some pesky sniper with a thermal scope the other side of the map. I also like to swap between my secondary and my primary super quickly, and obviously Overkill because 2 guns is always better than 1 and you can always pick up Ghost at a later point in the game. Now, for your secondary, I'm going to suggest that you focus a lot more on close range engagements. As you're about to see, the way that I build this M13 is focused on range and recoil. What this means for you is that you'll be able to shoot far enough so that you will probably not miss a sniper rifle, but it will also make this gun quite slow when you're up close and personal. Don't get me wrong, the M13 is never going to be super slow like some of the LMGs or even the Kilo for example, but it will not shine in these close ranges. For this reason, I'd suggest that you use the MP5 as a secondary on this class. The MP5 is by far the most dominant weapon up close in Warzone at the moment, and with the M13 for range, you will absolutely smash anyone at most distances. So for the actual M13 build itself, I start with a monolithic suppressor. At this point, this should be a staple for every single one of your weapons that you use in Warzone. The biggest, and to be honest most obvious reason, is that you are suppressed, so you will stay off the enemy radar, which should help you dramatically decrease your chances of getting third partied. But Also, this attachment gives you that little bit extra damage range, which is perfect for this type of build. Next, we want to use the absolute longest barrel that we can, and for the M13, this is the Tempest Marksman barrel. Now, this gun is going to give you better recoil control and even more damage range, which is obviously key to this build, but the most key part of this attachment, in my opinion, is the increase to the bullet velocity. This essentially means that the bullet will be travelling much faster, which in turn means that you don't have to lead your targets or aim above them as much, making this gun excel at super crazy long ranges. Now, the next attachments that I'm going to call essential to this class setup is the Commando foregrip. The recoil on this gun is already going to be next to nothing, but the vertical recoil is going to be super easy to control. The only thing that you will not be able to control with simple practice and muscle memory is the side to side bounce or horizontal recoil. So by using the Commando foregrip, you will be giving yourself an extremely accurate and controllable gun. For the other two attachments, I usually go for the 60 round mags because the more bullets you can send down range the better, and if we're being completely honest, the ADS difference between this and the 50 round mag is negligible at best. And then I use the stippled grip tape as I like to speed up that ADS time as much as possible. With that being said, that last one can be swapped out for a scope of some description, as the M13 iron sights might not be for you. So the next weapon that I want to talk about as a direct competitor to the Grau isn't actually an assault rifle at all. Now bear in mind that I think that it goes without saying that an obvious choice would be the M4, but making a video telling you that the M4 is a good alternative to the Grau at this stage in the day would be about as useful as telling you that a good way to get a kill is to point your gun and shoot. It's not going to happen. Instead, I want to talk about a gun I don't think gets enough love in Warzone, and that is the P90. Now please don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that the P90 is a complete replacement for the Grau, but instead I'm saying that this gun is being slept on and can be just as accurate, if not more, than the Grau, but will absolutely smash the Grau out of the water at closer ranges. Now for this setup, the perks are going to remain the exact same as before. However, the difference here is, instead of the MP5 secondary, I'm going to suggest that you use the HDR instead. The key with this class is that the P90 is going to absolutely laser people at close and medium range, but when it comes to longer ranges than that, you're going to want to switch out to that HDR. This is essentially how most players will use the Grau anyway, so it should not be too much of a problem, especially if you put in a little bit of time to learn the intricacies of the sniping mechanics in Warzone. Now for the actual P90 build, here is what I'm going to suggest you use. Obviously, the monolithic suppressor for the range and sound suppression, and the forged tack retribution barrel. The reasons for using this barrel are actually pretty much the same as why I chose the Tempest for the M13. It drastically improves your overall range and accuracy because of the recoil control and added bullet velocity, but mainly, and perhaps most importantly, it makes the gun look like an absolute bleeding beast, and even if you miss all of your shots and end up dying and crying in the gulag, at least you'll have this little bit of virtual art to look at. Now next, I use an underbarrel and rear grip attachment. On the front, we have the stippled grip tape. This actually works differently to the stippled grip tape on the rear grip of every other gun, as it does not help with your aim down sight speed or sprint to fire time, as one would come to expect. Instead, this is going to help to the recoil control and add to the absolute laser abilities of this weapon. On the rear grip, we're using the rubberized grip tape for the same reasons, as it just helps with lessening that recoil. Now finally, we don't have to use a magazine attachment for the P90, as by standard it comes with a 50 round mag, so instead I use the fly strap stock in its place. This gives you extra ADS speed and sprint to fire speed that we would have otherwise lost from not using the stippled grip tape that other guns would use. Altogether, this build is an absolute beast, and it is going to beat most assault rifles at close range and match them at medium range because of the amount of bullets you'll be able to get on target in quick succession. I know that this weapon is a bit of an outlier, but trust me when I say it is so worth using. So there we have my best two alternatives for the Grau 556 for when you're really struggling with how to unlock the Grau grind. I really hope that you found this useful. The support that I've been getting over the last couple of months has been absolutely incredible, and we as a channel and community have just been going from strength to strength, so I honestly can't thank you guys enough. Now, for those of you who have watched these videos for a while, you'll know that I love to see who has made it till the end. So if you're still here, I'd like you to let me know by answering this question down in the comments. Do you prefer to run a sniper secondary or an SMG like the MP5? Anyway, that's it from me today. I'm Average Joel. Peace.